Hello guys and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, here you'll find a lot of useful grammar and practice of most confusing topics in English, from conditional sentences and verb patterns to false friends and many more. This video is for those of you who have decided to take on a challenge and read a book in English. And I would like this lesson to be more of a conversation than just a normal lesson. So please share your opinions in the comments, share with us the books that you read or you're going to read, and we'll just have a lot of information worth spreading. I will show my selection of books and you will write in the comments the books that changed your lives or probably just left a great impression on you. And I would really appreciate if you wrote your impressions about the books that I'm going to mention. So let's get comfy and let's dive into the topic. I suggest we start from classical books. You might not be a fan of this or that writer, but if they were universally praised, that's for something. And it's our task to explore and find out why. So here is my suggested list. You may start by reading any book by Oscar Wilde. I love his books because he's witty, he's brilliant, and also there's a lot of humor in his books. You may start by reading any of his plays, theater plays, or a book like the classic of all times, The Portrait of Dorian Gray. I wouldn't say that this is the easiest reading for beginners, but if you're B2 or C1, that would be a great choice. How about reading The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain, or books by Hemingway, for example, The Sun Also Rises. Some of you might have The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald on your shelf, or The Catcher in the Rye by Salinger, or probably Treasure Island by Stevenson. But bear in mind, if you pick up a classical book, the language might be a bit obsolete or just old-fashioned, so you will have to consult the dictionary quite many times. But anyway, it's a great choice because classical books are full of intriguing plots, complicated and wrong characters, and sometimes they are also full of wisdom. Remember that you might disagree with me and write your list of classical books in the comments. Don't be shy because everybody's opinion is valued and valid on this channel. We can continue with one of my students' favorite genre, science fiction. Science fiction books, or simply sci-fi books, are quite entertaining. So let's have a look at the list of the books which were written in this style. The first one is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Have you seen a famous film Blade Runner? Well, its actual name is Blade Runner Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Then the name was just shortened. It is a dystopian science fiction novel written by an American writer, Philip Dick. One of my favorite books in this genre is The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. This book is about how a couple copes with this kind of disease that the husband has. He travels in time, but he doesn't know where he's going to appear next minute or next second, and it's really exhausting for his wife. So check this book if you got interested. Well, of course, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, or 1984 by George Orwell, or Animal Farm. Any of them will be a great choice. You continue the list. So what's next? Oh, yes, detective stories. The first one in my list is Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Then you have Agatha Christie's books, any of her books. She wrote classical detective stories. Then you can also take Arthur Conan Doyle, any of his books, and add your list of detective stories. If you really want something light and not complicated, you can read some chick lit. So in this genre, I would suggest reading one of Sophie Kinsella's books, for example, Mini Shopaholic. The book is full of idiomatic expressions, phrasal verbs, and just modern language, slang as well. So you might find it interesting if you really want something light and just fun. Action and adventure. So here again we have an endless list, but I will suggest just one. Have you heard of the film Catch Me If You Can? Well, if you've seen the film, you will understand that it's about a fraudster, the most important fraudster of all times, Frank Abagnale. So he actually wrote a book next to Stan Reading, and the book is called Catch Me If You Can. And if you ever read the book, please tell me if it is really worth reading. Are you interested in quest, adventure, and fantasy books? So you might be interested in reading The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The language is quite simple to understand. Any parable, actually, any parable that you take, you will understand the language easily, because what is important is not the complicated verse, but the idea, the wisdom. There are also books with some financial aid or advice. Books like Poor Dad, Rich Dad, or Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And there was another one which was called The Richest Man in Babylon. So they are actually fun to read because they give you another perspective on the world of finances and your financial intelligence. I've definitely missed some of the genres, and I'm sorry for that. So please just write in the comments the things that I've forgotten, okay? And add the list with selected books which were great for us, for English learners, to read a book and to learn the vocabulary at the same time. But also, not to forget to analyze, to live new lives, and to experience new things through books. There should be another video about the importance of reading books. Just stay updated, stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Like the video if you really liked it. Write in the comments if you disliked some things. So just share your emotions, okay? See you later. Bye bye.